the question, what if?
I'm f***ing pumped. This shit came back around. Marvel f***ing Studios. But after 40 seconds of this intro, the caffeine wore off. So I'm giving it 1 sin for the usual intro credit nonsense and 5 for inducing the roller coaster of emotions I just experienced.
Time, space, reality. It's more than a linear path.
For the love of Odin, Bernard is lost in his bullshit again. Or is it Arnold? I don't know. I gave up on Westworld long before it decided to not give us any satisfying answers. But Jeffrey Wright has doubled down on these types of cryptic characters, so I'm giving him a sin. I'm giving HBO a sin, and I'm giving Marvel a sin, respectively.
It's a prism of endless possibility.
So its ends are parallel, its sides are flat, and Marvel is definitely going to use this later to explain away some bullshit when we all try to make sense of it.
I am the Watcher.
This half-hearted attempt to make Rockwell canon in the MCU by suggesting that somebody's watching me.
Thanos is coming. He's coming.
I guess this whole Bifrost space laser elevator through the stairs wasn't enough to establish which Infinity Saga moment we were being dropped into. So Bruce Banner has to say this line, presumably to the audience.
Come on, big guy. Time to go green.
I get that he's wearing this outfit because he didn't have any other clothes, but I'm genuinely shocked he couldn't resist the matching fingerless gloves. Now I have to say that this scene does not contain a breakdance.
Come on, come on, come on!
Actual video footage of TVSins staff trying to coax a joke out of her sick mind somehow makes its way into this episode. The show wants me to believe the zombie versions of Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong are somehow more effective in this fight than they would be normally. I assume it's because they're hangry.
I can't believe it.
That The Walking Dead has managed to actually infect Disney? Yeah, me either.
Go! You'll be safe with them!
With the bug that just ate the dangerous saliva-filled head of a zombie? No, thank you.
Who are you?
All that's left.
Well, that's just a dumb superhero name.
Like too many great catastrophes, this one sprang from a place of love and hope.
No one will be seated while the resident creepy voyeur of the MCU interrupts the show to deliver unnecessary exposition and puns.
Janet Van Dyne contracted a quantum virus that corrupted her brain.
Does throwing the word quantum in front of virus satiate our bloodlust for backstory and continuity? No. This raises more questions than the time I sprained my quantum ankle running away from my brother after punching him in his quantum balls.
Alas, Hope Van Dyne's long-awaited family reunion was not to be.
I mean, technically the family was reunited. It was just violence and viscera rather than hugs and hummus. See, the problem with the hand pressed to a steamy pane of glass cliche is that when the sound is turned down, I'm not sure if this is a death scene or a sex scene. Or, since it's zombies, I guess it could be both. Setting scenes on the Golden Gate Bridge is so overplayed that the audience couldn't care less about what's going on here. Whether it be mutants, apes, or zombies, it's a loss we're all prepared for at this point. Kind of like Ohio.
Because once Earth's mightiest heroes joined the infected, no one else stood a chance. Unless, of course, they knew the rules.
For someone that likes to watch, he sure does interrupt a lot. You're invited here to observe, not give notes, Larry. Why would experienced adventurers land their plane on a bridge where they could be easily surrounded? It's almost like the writers wanted to skip over the Avengers using strategy to handle their flesh-eater situation so that a Walking Dead fan could finally live out their undead crossover fantasy.
New York, home of the Mets, the Chrysler Building, those ladies from Sex and the City.
Picking 3 things that would make Scott Lang say, "Oh yeah, those are in New York. I know those."
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
The whole make it anywhere cliche might be a bit of a stretch. Most New Yorkers get confused by the wilds of Connecticut.
Do I really have to be wearing this?
As an adult, do you really have to ask that question? I presume they're talking about the eulogy she gave for her aunt, which is a pretty dark Easter egg to throw in this otherwise comedic video. This web job looks as structurally sound as the one made by that spider the scientist dosed with LSD.
Well, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, we gotta go to Jersey.
You know what? F you, Marvel. I hate New Jersey just as much as any decent American, but that was completely unprovoked. You saved that for a real threat, like Ohio.
All right, everybody, it's Grand Central.
Unless the show is claiming some butterfly effect nonsense has rerouted the train lines, you need to go to Penn Station if you want to train to New Jersey.
Splitting up? Do you guys just not have horror movies in Wakanda?
We don't need them. We have American reality shows.
Boom goes the dynamite.
All of these assholes almost die because they couldn't resist telling Peter Parker to go f himself. No, Happy, you can't be this silly before you descend into the zombie-infested bowels of Grand Central Station when earlier you were this serious about a t-shirt.
Happy!
A truly unfortunate name at a time like this. Parents, let this be a reminder to name your children something that makes some f***ing sense. Asking us to believe Spidey could gain traction in his adult footy pajama costume. All the other Avengers have kept their abilities despite their zombie transformations. Then Hawkeye misses 2 out of 3 shots he takes at Sharon. Marvel is definitely playing least favorites.
That was your friend. Sorry about that.
I should be sad, but I'm not.
After watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I can't tell if that was a comedic quip or if Bucky was unpacking some seriously nuanced feelings about his relationship with Sam. Show wants me to laugh cry, and I will not do it. I will not. There are so many Deus Ex Vestis moments in this show that I'm pretty sure the Cloak of Levitation is the strongest Avenger. Whoever made the glass for this subway needs to be sued for poor craftsmanship. If a brittle zombie can punch through, the manufacturers f***ed something up pretty badly. So the list now is 1, survive, 2, sue.
I think you've had enough, Cap.
I'm not going to sin the fact that we see the Avengers get infected in San Francisco earlier, and it seems they've all made their flight back to New York. But I am going to sin the fact that half of them were at Grand Central Station the exact moment the normies showed up, as if this was just part of their daily commute. Bucky, you know how the shield works. Shoot the legs! I suppose everyone feels really confident about avoiding zombie saliva at this point, but why would flying directly into the mouth of the creature that can turn you into a walking nightmare be a wise move at any time? She gets what's coming to her, is what I'm saying.
Guess this is the end of the line.
I'm beginning to doubt that Sebastian Stan even had to record a voiceover for this show. It's like they recycled his dialogue from all his other MCU appearances.
Hope, I think you're in trouble.
Hope exploding through Sharon causes this wound, when all the flying through fool she was doing earlier didn't leave so much as a scratch.
Can we really take that risk?
It's not risk. It's hope. And anyone who's seen a zombie movie knows that that's the key to survival.
Actually, it's both risky and hopeful. And anyone who's seen Zombieland knows the key to survival is cardio and Twinkies. The cardio helps you survive the Twinkies.
Well, looks like our draft cars just got pulled.
Bucky says something to remind us he was in World War II cliche.
Oh, come on, Hope. It's not your fault.
Lying.
Smile. Smile for me, okay?
Sure, use your last moments to say something that'll really f a kid up, instead of, figuring out a way to disarm yourself so you don't kill everyone with your smallness/largeness. Why is no one even slightly concerned about the giant zombie Hope is about to turn into?
I know what you're thinking.
That Futurama did it better?
What I wouldn't give to get chewed out by that old grump one last time. I did it again. Zombie pun.
No one thinks it would be a good idea to inform Scott that his partner and love interest, Hope Van Dyne, just died moments ago. Hey, just let him continue on with the dad jokes.
Sergeant Barnes, you will not find what you're looking for.
Even if we ignore the super obvious shift in tone at the end of this statement, not a single one of these schmucks asks a simple why. Bucky just saunters off into the next plot point. Bucky is looking for transport and what looks like a morgue.
According to these security logs, we're not the first to respond to Vision's signal.
First rule of hiding the fact that you've been luring people to their deaths for the purposes of feeding your zombie girlfriend: delete the security logs. For a hyper-intelligent superbot, Vision is terrible at subterfuge.
He's been keeping him alive to feed his zombie bride.
Alive and bride don't really rhyme, but Bucky's flow had just enough rhythm to make this freestyle work. And to that, I say these characters are not treating this moment with the appropriate seriousness.
Our powers are too strong. They've resisted the treatment.
Oh.
I must atone for what I have done. But I cannot bring myself to leave her.
Vision then immediately does leave her by offing himself. Also, he definitely should, but I don't think he has to atone right f***ing now. And I don't care if the writers think that the power of Vision's row boner is so strong that it can explain away his motivations for pretty much everything he's done since Captain America Civil War.
Do you think you can fly this?
He asks the man who is already seated in the pilot seat and confidently pressing buttons. Context clues, Spidey. Context clues.
I don't think I can lose another friend today.
So, avenge us.
Here, teenager, you solve it. Phew. Right at the end, they slip in the mountain of roach-crawling zombies cliche that we all have come to adore and respect.
Blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, d***less, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is! Hallelujah! Holy shit!
Go! You'll be safe with them!
We could ride him and get back to the house in no time.
Do you guys just not have horror movies in Wakanda?
What do you mean, you people?
How do you stay so upbeat?
I can charm dogs, gypsy witchcraft, and those I can't charm I can kill with my own hands.
No! Kelly Clarkson! You lured innocent people to their deaths, all in the name of love?
You can make any story work. I once convinced a woman that I was Kevin Costner.
Blue! No!
What's our fuel gauge reading? Fuel gauge.
2,900.
2,900.
Angle cock's closed, handbrake's knocked off.
We're going to have to walk through that.
Nibble my ear, for luck.